Hey guys, Rusty, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Cool, hey. Hey guys, Rusty over here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to solo Mythic Trial of Valor. Now, maybe if you want some of the Garb of the Chosen Dead set, I don't know why you would ever want this set, it looks freaking stupid. But if you want some pieces from that, you could get some. Can't get them all, but you could get some. Now, I'm doing this around 449 item level with 2 pretty good pieces of corrupted gear. However, I was way over geared for this. You could probably do this even at like 420 or maybe even 430 item level. Now, for Mythic Odyn, you're going to want some Azerite essences like Crucible of Flame or Breath of the Dying, essentially that do passive damage to the bosses. Now, the reason for that is when Helya, Heimdall, or Odyn are next to each other, they'll take 99% reduced damage. However, those Azerite essences, again, like Crucible of Flame or the Breath of the Dying, will actually still tick and do damage to them through their shield. Now, that is a bug. It can be fixed by Blizzard. However, I'm going to tell you the other way to do it. Anyways, so you have phase 1 here. You have Heimdall and Helya. Now, they're going to cast Shield of Light and also Horn of Valor. When Heimdall casts his Horn of Valor, as you can see here, you're going to immediately move Helya away from him. Now, once she is far enough away and they're split far enough away, you have a few, probably 4 or 5 seconds to go ahead and put some damage into the bosses. So you see there, Helya is now casting her Shield of Light, so I'm going to move Heimdall away here. I'm going to start DPSing him down and try and get as much damage into him as I can before they go immune again. Now, I do make a few mistakes and mess up a few times here. Also, throughout the phase, you're going to have these Valor rune bearers. They're going to run and melee you. You can't kill them unless you drag them to the correct color rune. My recommendation, ignore them. In this phase especially, even in the next one, they don't matter. Odin's eventually going to cast his Unerring Blast. This is essentially, the more ads are up, the more damage it does, but even with all the ads up, it will do very little damage. And then you can go ahead and kill the ads off, then they'll no longer be immune. So again, essentially, when Heimdall casts his Horn of Valor, you're going to want to move Helya away and DPS her down when you can. And then when Helya casts her Shield of Light, you're going to go ahead and move her, or Heimdall away, and DPS him down. Now, you're going to want to keep doing this. Also, you're going to get this Expel Light debuff. Don't worry about it. It does no damage. You're going to want to keep doing this until eventually one of the bosses gets to 25% HP, and then they're going to start casting that Revivify. If that goes off, the boss will heal back up to, I believe it's 50 or 75% HP. So essentially, they both need to be within 25% HP before that Revivify cast finishes. So once you do that, Heimdall and Helya are going to piss off. Odin's going to jump down with his Gargantuan Veiny Monkey, and he's going to start mailing you. Puts as much damage into him as you can. Now, he's going to phase at 55% health. However, even if you could push him before then, by the way, if you touch those golden orbs, you get stunned. Don't push him yet right away. Eventually, Helya is going to land down there, and again, if she gets close to Odyn, he's going to go ahead and become immune. Now, this is where your Azerite essences come in. Go ahead and just start meleeing Helya, and you can see here, the Breath of the Dying, the dot from that, not the dot, but the damage from that, and also when the Crucible of Flame goes off, that will actually still DPS Helya through her shield. Now, if they do fix that, essentially what you're going to want to do, wait until Odyn is casting his Unerring Blast, and kind of like phase 1, he will be immobile, move Helya away from Odyn, and then you can DPS her down, or just use the Azerite essences, and also ignore the ads again. Now, once Odyn reaches 55% health, he'll transition into phase 3. He's going to light 2 areas of the ground on fire. Simple move out of there. Now, this is a DPS check, however, it's a very easy one. I did save my cooldowns for it, although it's completely unnecessary. Essentially, that Stormforge Spear debuff, he will keep throwing it at you and keep stacking it up and up and up until it kills you. So, just don't stand in fire and kill Odyn. You'll be fine. And also, apparently, you get a Warlock legendary. This one is simple enough. It's one even easier boss? Sure, let's move on to Mythic Guarm. Now, this one is technically a DPS check, although, again, it is very, very easy to make this one. Now, go ahead, pop your cooldowns immediately on the pole. Now, he's going to get this foam debuff, either the blue one, the shadow one, or the frost one, the shadow one, or the fire one. So, I got this frost one here, and that's going to mark me with the frost debuff. Now, if I stand in the fire or shadow colors, don't soak any of the breath right away. If I stand in any of those, I'm essentially going to take a big dot. Now, just to show you here, I could have killed the boss before it happens. I had the frost debuff, I stood in the fire breath. Now watch my health. Essentially, you can see here it's ticking down pretty hard. That will happen if you stand in the wrong color breath. It'll also happen eventually if he puts out a different colored foam debuff on you. But before that's even an issue, you could very easily kill this boss. The boss does not have that much HP, and 8.3 at the gear levels right now, it's not an issue. Final boss, let's move on to Helya. Now, I recommend saving your DPS cooldowns for phase 2 or phase 3. There's no reason to use them on pull. I found that out the hard way, kind of. So go ahead and pull the boss. Now, she's going to do a breath. Ignore it completely. Ignore the slimes that they spawn. Just keep nuking into the boss. She's also going to spawn an orb of corruption that follows you around. Just don't stand in it. Now, the Taint of the Sea debuff is on heroic. What that used to do, or what it does, is it ticks up and up and up until you eventually die. Now, for some reason, on Mythic, that doesn't happen. So this boss is very doable. So just keep DPSing the boss. At a 66% HP, she'll go into phase 2. Now, phase 2 is by far the hardest part of this. Is really the only chance you have of dying. You're going to have these gripping tentacles that spawn. Now, on Mythic, they need to die within 10 seconds of each other. If they don't, the other one will just despawn and not do damage to the boss. However, if they spawn on separate platforms, chances are you're not going to be able to get the other one within 10 seconds. However, that doesn't matter. It does not matter. The most important thing is transitioning the boss. However, when the tentacles spawn in front or behind the boss, see if you could get them killed within 10 seconds of each other. If you can't, again, it's not a big deal. Essentially, all you're going to want to do in this phase is keep killing tentacles. The other ads that spawn, like the Mariners, Mistwatchers, and Grime Lord, you could kill them as you're moving from tentacle to tentacle. But again, just kill tentacles, and if you could kill them within 10 seconds of each other, that's ideal. However, if you can't, it is not a big deal. Just make sure you're watching your health at this point, as you will be taking a lot of damage from that Taint of the Sea, and also the constant wave pushing. She's sending the waves at you. So again, this phase, just keep on killing tentacles, guys. That's it. That's this phase. Just keep killing tentacles, and then eventually the boss will respawn back in the middle. Now, phase 3, again, I recommend saving your DPS CDs for this, or phase 2, whichever one you're struggling with. Now, this phase, I promise you, is going to look very hectic on the screen. There's going to be a lot going on. First of all, don't stand in the orbs, just like phase 1. And also her corrupted breath that she's doing right now, this is going to apply a 99% healing reduction on you. So just make sure you use some kind of defensive cooldown, or basically something if you're taking a lot of damage, just to mitigate that damage, since you won't be able to heal yourself up. Now guys, that is it. Don't stand in the orb. Use some kind of defensive CD when she does the breath, and that's it. Do not worry about the ads. You can passively cleave them down. The only annoying thing about this phase is that she's going to be constantly sending those waves at you and pushing you back. So if you're a ranged DPS, you might have some trouble with this. It might be a little annoying. However, guys, I understand. Like, I don't even know what's going on right now. Just keep hitting the boss. Don't stand in the orbs of corruption, and use some kind of defensive CD once she does the breath, and you'll be fine. You'll even get the Patient Zero achievement if you don't have it already. And guys, that is it. That is Mythic Trial of Valor. Again, this is very easy to do. I did this around 449 item level, but I'm sure you could do it much lower. Again, even like maybe even 410 item level. No, that's a little too low, but we'll see. If you do it that low, let me know. Anyways, guys, I hope this guide helped you. If you have any questions at all, please leave a comment down below. I try to answer as much as I can, and I really hope this guide helped you, and I hope you enjoyed watching. And as always, the most important part of every single video I make, I gotta get the word out there that Halo 3 is the best Halo. Halo 2 and Reach, they're amazing. CE amazing. ODC amazing. 4 and 5 shit. Halo 3, best Halo. Thank you very much, guys. Until next time. Bye-bye.